Well, I was hitchhiking with my board when a trucker stopped. He said, "Climb on in, son." I said, "Hey, thanks a lot." Says, "I see you're a skater." I said, "Yep." He says, "Let me tell you about the time I did a trick." Way back when in 99, I seen this gal. She looked real fine. Wanna take her home, make her mine.
Yo, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Shooters. Thank you so much for checking us out again. I hope so far it's been fun, and I don't know, you just like stoked on it. Also hope you're doing well during like this COVID and shit, and because everything's fucked up. I was in San Diego before. Now I'm here in Denver, stuck in my parents' house because of fucking COVID. Trying to go back to Japan, but it'll happen eventually. I guess today is Tadashi Photos, like his company, Tadashi Filters. Makes those really cool fucking little filters that protectors that you put over your fisheye so you don't break the lenses and so you can get in closer. Just a really good conversation about how he got started and his product and how it applies to skateboard photography and how you can make it work for your photos, stuff like that. So yeah, let's just jump in, see what you got to say.
It looked like a backside hurricane went through that place. Just kept on grinding on my pole. I said, "Hell yeah, frontside rock and roll." She went pretty ham on that pole, James.
Sick.
Well, let's try new things. You think you want?
Yeah, man, no, it's totally working.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, thanks for having me, man. Stoked to try to talk some camera stuff and with people and help people out or whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, it's like, like I said, with the whole thing with the show, is just trying to, just hype up photography and especially nowadays, with these what print is dead is what everybody's telling me. To just keep it going. So cool, dude. Let's just jump into it. Why don't you just start off, introduce yourself, tell people your name, where you're from, how long you've been shooting for.
Okay, sure. My name's Tadashi, and last name's Yamaoda, and I am from Pleasanton, California, and I've lived in a bunch of other places like San Diego and Oakland and SF, and I've been seriously shooting since probably 2000, but I was probably shooting from the mid-90s before that for fun. But yeah, in 2000 is when I decided I wanted to be a photographer, professional. That was my plan.
Was it driven off of just from skateboarding, or was it just photography in general?
Yeah, driven off of skateboarding. I was pretty naive. I didn't really realize or even come into my mind that that's even a possibility, that you could do a living doing photography and do it for skateboarding. So I kind of I'd already gone to college and stuff, and then graduated college, and then I decided, oh wait, I can do this, and then I just went for that direction. Yeah.
So were you you were naive to it? You were just what the fuck, photography, cool, I want to get into this, because were you did you grow up skating and shit like that already? Were you?
Yeah, so I've been skateboarding my whole life and just really, really into it, and love the culture, everything about it, and I'd obviously wanted to be sponsored and all that stuff, and I was excited to do skateboard photography because I could still be in the mix. I can actually skate at the spot, and I can even shoot photos, and so it's like a win-win. It sounds amazing to be still in the mix, with the pros and people that are killing it, and then I'm able to even get some shots. So it's really exciting to be, media. It's really exciting to be part of the media,
Right. So when you first got your start, what were you shooting on? How'd you would you just get some 2000 at the time? Those were DSLRs were pretty fucking expensive then, huh?
Yeah. I think I remember buying a memory card, a SD card. It was a 1 gig card. It was $500 or something. It was crazy back then because it was unheard of too. It was a gig. It's it was nuts. It was so much storage back then. But yeah, I did film. I obviously did film in the 90s. With my dad's Canon, DSLR, and then and I got the Nikon F5 later in the night. I got more serious in maybe 2000, and then in like 2003, that's when I got the D2X, D2H, which is like sequence camera more for a digital one for Nikon. And that was a really fun one because you could shoot sequences. All of a sudden, you weren't using film to shoot sequences, and it wasn't such a waste of money, and you weren't just buying bricks of film. And then in 2005 is when I fully switched over to full digital, and I got a D2X, which was a kind of a game changer. And I was super excited to not use. I don't know why people like film, but I was very excited to not use film ever again. Like I just did, so much faster. It's just easier. You learn faster. You're able to learn as you're going and see how you're doing the shots worse. So it's like it seems like a no-brainer. Why not? Why would you not want to do that?
So in 2020, what are you shooting with now then?
Mainly, I have here. I think the D850. Yeah, Nikon. But I also have a D810 and a D500.
Are those two cameras connected to each other?
Oh yeah, I was gonna get into that later. It's they're on a little rig here on a.
We're gonna talk about that, man. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, I did a whole little list of things that like maybe people might be inspired and show people things I've done, maybe stoke some people out. But yeah, that's for that.
That's sick, dude. That's sick. So now like are you? Is photography like your predominant, like is that your main job? Are you shooting like photography like professionally for like companies and stuff like that, for yourself?
No, not anymore. I don't make enough money to support myself on photography. It's possible. I think people do it, and it's a real hustle, and I commend anyone who's really doing it right now. It's so slim pickings out there, and you got to really hustle. But it's possible. You have to maybe look at different avenues, different places you might not think about. Maybe even look at like, maybe like other energy drink company. Maybe they need like stuff for their Instagram, things like that. Or like, there's other avenues out there these days. You have to really shift. It's not just, you can't just sell photos to the companies for their ads like you used to. It's much harder now, but it's out there and there's still a demand for it. But it's just
So then how often are you going out like shooting like skating and stuff like that?
I still go out on the weekends, and I mainly try to do, a lot of it I focus on my brand now because I do the filters and I do some other camera accessories. So I mainly try and get content for that brand. So it's kind of more of I'm working for myself now in a way. I'm shooting for myself.
Yeah, that's what's up though. Because I kind of feel like, especially now, with how hard it is to actually sell photos, in the skate industry. You kind of, like having a brand or doing stuff for yourself, and or really, I feel like, and a lot of other guys, I look at a lot of other dudes who are, successful skate photographers are probably making their money shooting other stuff.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think a lot of it is going towards doing your own brands and trying to do your own thing a lot because it's not there. Those outputs aren't there like they used to be, and it would be cool. Maybe magazines would pay stuff for their Instagrams or things like that, or their avenues. But as of right now, it's very slim. Yeah.
Speaking of brands, so like I know like I heard about your filters a long time ago from one of my friends in Japan, and I was always like hyped on. I was like, man, I want to fucking try those out. Like, tell me about that, man. Like, what was your concept? Like, when you first started doing that? Like, what was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it came out of kind of out of necessity. So I was out shooting with Dustin Henry once. He's a Canadian ripper, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you shoot a photo like real close? We do like 90s style." And so I did. I was like, "Okay, let's try it." And we were just getting really, really close and getting all these really cool shots, and it was just like really almost more artistic than it was more of a sick trick, and it was really exciting to do. And I wanted to take it even to the next level and get even closer. So I actually, out of necessity, I was able to basically fashion up my own prototype, which I didn't even know it was a prototype at the time, to protect my lens so I can get even closer shots and get even more obnoxious and have more, just get more up in there, just get more, abstract in a way, it's almost it's really, you're shooting these angles from ways you never would before, from you're riding their way sometimes. It's crazy, you're even getting, it's a miracle I haven't broken my hand, because I've had I'm in people's way, messing them up. Yeah, so that's where it came from. So I basically made my own prototypes for that, and then later I was like, oh wait, I guess I could just maybe try to sell these to people who want to maybe try something similar to mine, or even just if they're maybe farther away and they can just still have the safety on there. So that's when I launched it. That's when I decided to make those four, and it took a lot of work to figure out, to actually make a better one than what I had. And I remember right before I launched it too, I almost didn't want to share the filters, because I was like, oh, I don't know if one of the people out there like knowing my secret, doing all these cool shots like this, but I'm super excited to see people get, people use them out there. It's pretty cool to see, like Matt Price has used them and people like that. It's pretty exciting, see people pushing it to the next level.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, the necessity part of it is pretty important, because fish eyes and even like super wides, the lenses are right there. There's nothing to protect them. And I remember I went on a trip to Australia with my friends, and like with my shop and stuff like that, with my team from my shop. And man, I was just doing some test shooting. I had like a wide lens, and this other dude these guys were showing us around. He went to do this like 360 boneless off the stairs or whatever, and just lost his board, and it fucking hit me straight in my head. And it luckily missed the lens by like millimeters, dude. It barely missed it. And it was like, I had just went on this trip. I had just bought this like $1,600 like super wide angle like Nikon glass, like one of the best wide angle lenses that Nikon makes. And it was our second day on the trip, dude. And luckily his board just missed it, like barely missed it. Like it hit, like where it says like Nikon at the top of the camera, where the flash would pop up right there. Like that got smacked. That was all fucked up. My hand was all bleeding and shit. My head was all bleeding. But the front of the lens was pretty big, and it just missed it. And I was like, fuck, man, there's nothing out there to protect fisheye lenses. And that was really cool. When I saw your product, I was like, hell yeah, those are fucking dope. So now, like, where do people find Tadashi Filters? Is it just on your website? Is it?
It's on my website, tadashifilters.com, and then also Amazon, eBay, and then we also have it on. I have a distributor that carries it in like B&H and Adorama and places like that, and a cellar door, and this place in Europe, the Windmill has some filters, so it's a few different places to get it from, and Instagram. I guess you can buy it on Instagram. So,
some things I'd like to ask about it is like, you already have, you have some pretty innovative stuff, I think, for what we do and the way we shoot. Some really useful, necessary items. What are your future plans for it? Like, you came out with that handle recently, and then do you keep planning to develop more products? Do you want to have like a Tadashi Filters photo camera guy team?
Yeah. The plan is keep growing, keep making more filters, keep seeing what people out there want. It really depends on what the customers want, what the skateboarding needs. Help trying to keep pushing skateboard photography and videography. So it comes down to really what is needed out there, and I'm trying to think of the way I go about inventing products is usually when I have a need, I'll try to. When I'm out shooting and I notice a need, then I'll try to fill that, and then that would be a product. So that's how, I got the tea bags or whatever. I'll be like, this is. I use this all the time for my camera. I'm out filming when I'm out doing selfies and stuff, or if I'm out shooting on the street and laying on the ground, I'm using my tea bag and things like that. So that's kind of where this one came from. I used to have it was a T-shirt and a cut, and I had rice in it, and I had to just sew it up, and so I was running that, and then actually decided to make these, which are much nicer, obviously, and for the brand. So again, out of necessity, that's where the products come from. And I love when people DM me and they ask me, tell me what they need. So we're looking at maybe making a MK2 filter, which I'm surprised people are still running that lens, but people keep asking me for it. So we're looking into that, and so whatever people want, and we'll try to help push skate media. That's the plan. Yeah.
Right. So tell me about that setup you got there right there on your desk. So let's go on with that.
So this is, you can shoot for 3D photography. This is where I came up my rig for shooting 3D. There's other ways to do like 3D shots, but I think the best way is to have, 2 cameras. So it's like, it's 3D. It's like your right eyeball and your left eyeball, and you shoot them in sync. So I put it like this. Sometimes I'll shoot it together, and I'll have I'll obviously have to sync the settings of both cameras, and try to have the same camera bodies would be ideal, and the same lenses would be ideal. So it's going to look as seamless as possible, and you can basically make a 3D image with it. And where people could wear the 3D glasses, and they could pop them on there. And I think a long time ago, the Skateboard Mag, they had a 3D article, and I was able to do some shots in that for that. And I was using basically the same idea. I was just, and I literally shoot at the same time. I just like breathe out and shoot at the same time. Yeah. Oh yeah, super awkward. And then I think even back then, I think I had even more awkward because I think I had I didn't have the bracket. I had a piece of wood going through it, and it was like just the most like, yeah. I've had some really janky setups, but that's how I was doing the 3D stuff. And you can also on the web, you can also make it to like a stereoscopic photo. You ever seen those ones where you basically play each photo back and forth, and so it's kind of like it's like left eye, right eye, left eye blinking, and it gives you that 3D feel. So you can do that in post. So yeah, this is one of the setups. Yeah, you can do the 3D stuff, and then if you wanted to, if you needed to maybe not be side by side, if you wanted like on top of each other, I got something like this where it has a hot shoe mount, and then there's the screw at the bottom, and you would basically stack them.
Yeah, dude, actually, I've been fucking wanting something like that because like right now I'm rocking Sony mirrorlesses. I have 2 Sony A7 IIIs, and because they're small and compact. And they're so small, I could like mount them on top of each other.
Yeah. These are bulky. As a small camera, that's even better. Yeah, or even 2 GoPros. They have those setups which are much easier to do too. Less bulky.
Yeah.
But if you want to do like a photograph, you can have more control with the DSLRs. But yeah, GoPros would be greater. Those things would be good too.
Are you like looking through some of your photos? It's like a lot of it's like daytime kind of natural light stuff. When it's lit up at night. Are you using like crazy flash setups, or do you just kind of like keep it low key and try to like pack like 1 or 2 strobes?
I usually bring the more light the better. Yeah, I have 2 of these strobes right here, the flashpoint ones I use usually. These bad boys, and I usually 2. No, these are Flashpoint. It's like the Chinese brand ones. And these things high speed sync real good, so that's why I use these ones. So you can like hyper sync with them. You can shoot at like thousands of a second and whatnot. So these are awesome, very powerful. They're kind of big and fit in your bag, but these are great. And then I have 2 of these.
Just be lights.
Yeah, I actually have this guy set up on the handle because sometimes you can even like. I've done this before, like you have an off-camera shot, So.
Yeah. Are you
Well, yeah, so I use some flashes. This Flashpoint. SL360N for the Nikon.
Do you have any like kind of like strobe tripod accessories, kind of like little small? Like I have this one like little Manfrotto it's like this big, it's super small, and it's like sometimes if I'm filming with one camera and I have the other one long lens, I can put it on that.
Actually, usually I used to use like the tea bags or something like that. I'll just be like, if for long lens, or if I do like a long lens second angle, I'll have something like this. I'll be filming that with that. As far as putting a flash, like I showed this thing, I'll do this sometimes. Like I said, like to hold above me if I don't want to cast my own shadow. Sometimes I'll hold this while I'm shooting, so that'll be like a accessory. Yeah.
That's sick, and that's just your fucking filming handle, right?
Yeah. So I use it for sometimes I use it for when I use in photos. Yeah, and this it goes longer too. This thing extends.
No, that's sick, man.
Yeah, so I have it way up here sometimes.
I'm gonna have to get that, dude. I'm gonna get that today. Watch. Watch, as soon as you're done, dude, you're gonna see an order coming in front of you. Trust. We'll figure something else out. Yeah, don't trip, dude. I'm down to support, man. That thing's tight, dude. So back to like your photography. Now that like okay, you got your gear going, you're shooting with dudes like, and you're starting to take it a little bit more serious. What was kind of like a really big turning point to when you said like, not like, oh, I want to try this, like, oh, I'm doing this and like I'm loving it, and like dudes are getting hyped on me. Like, was there like that standout photo that you took where you're just like, God damn it, like, all right, this is what's up, or like what was really the after you decided to do it?
I think more of the failure was more what was driving me, was when I would like think I was getting a good photo and I was excited about it and I'd send it to the magazines and they just wouldn't like it, and I think it was because it wasn't good enough. I think that was really the driving factor, is because you're like, well, shoot, I have to shoot better, I have to get better guys, I have to get better spots, or not better spots, but better. Just the failures of always sending all these photos in and being so excited and being like, a whole batch is like a wash. Like, okay, crap, I gotta step it up. I gotta figure out, I gotta get more exciting shots. That's really what it comes down to, and so I don't know what my tipping point was, but I think what really helped me do, like when I started doing these 3D photographs and things like that, that was me thinking, well, what else could I do? What can I bring to the table that's going to be different than everyone else? What's going to make these photos more exciting? And yeah, of course I should be calling the P-Rod and all those guys and hassling those guys and chasing down the best guys. But also it was like I was thinking, what can I bring to the table that's different as far as photography goes? And like that's kind of why I was like bringing out this 3D stuff to try to show that things. What else? I was doing. I got this rig for a while. I was running this for a while. This is a big ass boom here, and I thought, oh, I can get these shots that no one else can get. So you mount the camera on here, and I bought a remote for it, and I was just basically just like cranking it all the way up there, and I was like leaning over their body trying to get these different angle shots. So like that was kind of the catalyst to this, because like, okay, I can get an angle that no one else can get, and this will be pretty exciting. So I did an article in low card shooting these like always bird's eye view shots with this thing, and they're a fisheye above, so it's a really unique type of angle. So,
dude, I actually just 2 days ago, man, I've been shooting with this kid up here in Denver. His name is Julian Christensen, and he it's this one gap. I think the only thing, Tory plug wheel switch flipped it. It's like over this bench kind of gap, whatever. Anyways, and I was just like, man, like let's just go. There was a fucking beautiful sunset. I was like, dude, we got to just get that golden hour shot, man. I don't really give a fuck what trick you do. I just want to get a photo here real quick with you. Yeah. And but it was the same thing. The way I approached it, I was like, okay, well, I can go this long, but I told you I was like, I want to fuck with my fish more. And I did the same thing, dude. I was kind of standing above the spot, just with my arms reaching straight up, like, and just popping it like that. But yeah, man, if I had like that, I mean, I could have used my tripod, I guess, but I just didn't really think about it like that. I was just like, let me. What I was thinking about was trying to get above, get that angle above, but I wasn't thinking about like, oh, well, maybe I can just put my. When also like I'm kind of sketchy too. Like I don't know if I would trust the remote to. How much I would trust the remote to pop it right there.
I know, I definitely missed shots if it wasn't, if you're not in the right angle or whatever, if it's not popping off right, it's definitely frustrating. It's a risky shot too. You gotta like, overall, the rule of thumb is you don't shoot fisheye from above because that makes it, mushrooms it all down, makes it look smaller. But the rule is you get below and down, and it exaggerates everything that way versus de-exaggerating it the other way. So it's a lot of trial and error on that one. So you're shooting it, you're looking at the back of it and trying to figure out if it's even working, So
like for you, or maybe you can like, with how your products and how you, do you have any tips how your products allow you to get into different places to be safely not fuck up your lenses and stuff like that? Do you have any like kind of tips? Like a good friend of mine who is going to be on the I featured him a long time ago, but hopefully he'll be on the show. He told me a long time ago, anytime he could like find somewhere to get up high, go to the second floor, go to the rooftop and shoot from above, that's what he does. And it was like one tip that he told me that I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And like when I can, I've done it, and the photos that I've taken when I have those opportunities have been like so much better than what I was looking at from ground level. So do you have any tips, like, some people who, maybe some customers who have your products right now who are like, their photos aren't looking as dope as yours, and they're just like, dude, I can't get it, like, what the fuck, like anything you want to tell people that maybe might help them?
Lots of, just honestly, like a lot of trial and error really is what it comes down to. I drive some of these guys crazy when I'm shooting with them, because I'd be like, hey, try again, I can get closer. Try again, I can get closer. Because a lot of times I'm not looking through the I'm not able to frame it up when he's doing a trick coming at me that close. So a lot of it's just I'm guesstimating where he's going to be, and I got the filter on there, and I shoot it, and it's not, when you're that close, a little millimeter makes the shot so much different. So I think it'd be a lot of just trial and error and making sure you communicate with the skater, like, hey, this is going to be. This is going to be a lot of tries, if to get this the way it's going to look right. And then another thing would be, it's really hard to get when you're that close to the person, you're actually blocking light, so it's really hard to get the light where you want it. So sometimes I will use like something like this rig to like try to get that light right up in there, and to showcase the trick best. But yeah, I think it's just a lot of trial and error really with those type of shots. If you're going like obnoxiously close and just trying to get crazy with it, yeah, so I'll try.
When you're getting that close, do you prefer to be like on the deck of the ramp, or like underneath the handrail on the stairs? Because like when you're up in there, dude, because you can't fucking see what's going on, man. Like that shit's scary, dude.
I prefer to be where you wouldn't shoot it from usually. That's what I try to tell myself that. Like, okay, how would I not shoot this? And then I'll try to see if that will work for this type. If I'm trying to get like artsy and obnoxious and crazy, sometimes it doesn't work, but if a guy's going on a 20-star handrail, it's not going to really work. But if you're doing something else, you try to get behind him or underneath him in places where you haven't seen that angle before. So it's pretty fun to just try to think that way, like rethink, forget everything you've done before in the past, and like rethink it, For a hot minute there, I was really excited about doing like in-camera double exposure photographs. I don't know if you ever mess with that, but most of the almost every newer high-end camera these days, it'll have a double exposure mode in your camera. Even you can do multiple exposures on the same frame. So so you basically would put the camera on like a tripod or a tea bag, whatever, and you shoot a photo of them, start a flip, and then another photo of them catching the flip, and then in the camera it'll lay them over each other in one shot. And those are really fun to do. They work best at night. I was doing those, and it'd be best when you have the subject isolated against like a black sky or something like that. So I'll send you some photos like that. But that's
When you do those at night, you'd be using flash?
Yeah. So
would you do like rear sync?
No.
I would usually just pull the power down a lot on the flash, and I'd put it on continuous, and I'd try to time it to like have it where it would and I'd actually mess with that how quickly they would fire off behind each other, because the flashes wouldn't keep up necessarily. So I turn the flashes down, I pop it off twice at maybe like quarter power or something like that, and expose the guy twice, like both times. And sometimes I did more exposures, but yeah, those are pretty fun to do.
Yeah, man. What else you got, dude?
Did some for a hot minute there. I was really into shooting shadows of the people doing tricks. So just kind of like the form of it, and that was like more of an artistic thing, and that was a lot of fun. Just trying to think differently. Try to find find like white ground to make the and you have to wait for the right time of day for the right shadow to be. If you kind of want it to be, you don't want it early in the day or late in the day. You want actually a harsh light to come down and push that shadow really really dark on the ground. So that was something I did. It's just fun. It's a kind of different way of thinking about stuff. You would never think that way.
Totally fun, man. Totally fun. And I think honestly, almost every skate photographer loves that, gets off on that shit, dude. Because I get off on it too, man. Like every time, like if I can cast a shadow, man, I try my best. I figure it out. I'm just like, where can I put a shadow down here, and I'll change my entire shot just to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or even like natural shadows too. I was like that project I was trying to do natural shadows, so I was like trying to do like from the sunlight on the ground of the guy doing it. But yeah, also I've definitely had luck pushing one against the wall behind him. That's real fun too. Yeah, here was a shot I was doing for a while. I was doing the guy go over the camera. So I literally put the camera on the ground like that. And then I would like obviously pop a filter on because it's way too dangerous to like not have it. And then I would put like one flash on both sides, have them go over it, and then I have the pop it off with the trigger. So that was a fun little series I was doing for a while too. Like so, just trying to get this. You never see anyone do a trick like that. Really, just like that weird of a shot.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Yeah. A lot of trial and error.
Speaking of triggers, really quick, do you have a? Because I use like triggers for flashes, like pocket wizards, but like triggers for like remotes, are those like factory made remotes or the aftermarket ones, or like do you have a recommendation?
There's a couple different kinds out there. I think some are like. So this one actually is expensive. It's a Nikon brand one, and it actually talks to the camera here and through this. You plug in the receiver to the body, and it's the RFN4S receiver, and it's the RFN4TX. So. And this thing works really good. It works pretty consistent overall. But there is cheaper ones that you can have. You can even have ones that have a wire going to it and goes to it, and that's pretty consistent. But you have a wire going there, and there's some that are like, I think they'll talk to it like a different way they'll talk to it as well. Like
I used to have Nikon as well, and you can use pocket wizards as remotes. You can do it through the PC jack.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I haven't done that in a long time. There is a way, definitely, that you can look into if you want to do. So you don't have to use this style. You can use that. Yeah, like you said, Pocket Wizard might be able to shoot off for you too.
Because the Sonys don't have PC jacks on them. They have like HDMI and all this shit. And I have Sony remotes, and I was like, fuck it, man. Like, I don't know. I don't need it that bad. But I'm kind of been thinking about getting one mostly because I have two cameras, and sometimes like one has to just kind of just be chilling somewhere. And I could use my phone to link it, but it's a bitch. It disconnects all the time. It's a little bit slow. I'd rather just have something that's just like boom, boom, boom. Need to get it.
You can do that with video too. If you set this one up long lens, put the remote on there, and have it record, and then you stop and start recording too. If you wanted to. It's a little scary because you're not really sure it's actually recording, like you said. But it's an option.
Yeah. So. I mean, sometimes it's better than just. Like I have days like I have the one stationary camera set up. I'm gonna be shooting photos or video with the other one in my hand or whatever, and the camera's just sitting there all day, just shooting, just eating up memory and battery. And I'm just like, man, screw that. And like I try to ask the homies, like, can you hit start and stop? But they're trying to skate. And I'm like, fuck. I need an assistant, dude.
But it's nice to have those angles too. It's always more is better. I feel like all the time.
I mean, it's for security, and like I take advantage of having the double fisting capabilities for sure. And there have been a couple times I've gone out shooting, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like rock one camera and like have the other one in the bag. And at the end of the day, there's like good clips, good footage, and everything. I'm like, I could have just left the camera filming the entire time and probably had a little bit extra.
That one extra B-roll shot, yeah, or whatever, even the land, yeah, it's great to have.
So like, who do you like right now? So wait, where do you live?
Right now I'm in Pleasanton, but I was just living in Sunnyvale before that, near San Jose.
Who are you skating with up there? Are you filming with some locals up there, or?
Probably the last guy I was shooting with before the COVID stuff happened was pretty much Elijah Ackley. Was like we were working on a project, so we were like going out like constantly trying to wrap up his last project. We did his part on Thrasher, skating and drifting. That was the last thing. So that was the guy I shot out the most. Him and then all his crew, all the homies, all the Western World guys, and Zane and Timson and all those guys. So yeah, shoot with all those homies recently. But yeah, it's fun. You should check out that video though. I was really excited about how that one turned out. And Elijah's a really sick skater, so.
That's cool. You got some other stuff on your list you want to tell me about?
One thing, I guess, as far as being weird, I think I don't have anything with me, but I can show you some photos on the web. I was doing some of those taxidermy shots. I just posted a couple of those the other day. A long time ago, I got some like fake dead animals and I put them in the shots, and we did some little series with that for this magazine back in the day.
Yeah, man, I saw those. I was like, if there was one, and I just thought I thought it might have just been like a dead bird that was just there, and then there was another one that was like completely like, I don't know, I could be wrong. It was like some fucking raccoon or something in the shot, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah, so I borrowed that raccoon from my friend. I remember driving from San Diego to LA in the middle of the night just to go borrow a taxidermy raccoon to try to shoot a skateboard photo with, and just thinking how ridiculous that was. But like, and the mindset was like, well, here, like might be a cool shot that no one else is doing. I'm gonna try it, and yeah, that one was probably the best one. I think the raccoon, because the raccoon was in this like position that was like really aggressive. It's really
yeah, that's what I remember, dude. That's fucking yeah, that's cool, man. But that's also is the fun about it too, because I really do think like at this point, just being creative and just doing some fun shit, and if especially if it's just with your boys, it's not like some serious shit. This is Thrasher cover. Even if it was Thrasher cover, that'd be tight. But to have that like freedom, and when you're with your crew, and because it's nice because I've gone out filming with some guys and shooting with dudes, and it's just like get the shit, go home, and then other times, yeah, you can't just like be creative like that and like have a lot of
it comes down to who you're working with and the communication and stuff, and if what their needs are and what if that matches up. Yeah, but I like to like with the video stuff, I like to shoot in 4:3 aspect ratio in HD. So obviously I have to communicate with the guys if I'm shooting with them. Like, what do they need this footage for? Like, are you trying to make your own video? Is it gonna, can I shoot in my style of filming? So yeah, that does you have to communicate. If you're gonna be creative like that, what the output is and if it's gonna work out for them. So. But yeah, a lot of people. I'm really excited about it. A lot of people get a lot of comments on that. People always ask me about the the 4:3 HD is so I would basically shoot with the full frame body, and then I have the crop sensor fisheye on there, and then in post I'll crop it to 4:3, so it looks more like a VX.
Yeah, right. So you can maybe throw a filter on it, look like it's like VX, film on VX or something like that.
Yeah, I can get real close, so I'll throw a filter on there, depending on the shot. So yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, like in post, like you can like make it look like it's, because it's the same aspect ratio. So, is that what you mean? So like you can like if the guys are going to be predominantly making a VX video and you're filming them that day or whatever.
Oh. They could probably. They'd have to de-res the footage and to put it into a VX timeline, make it so it wouldn't look too freaking weird. But like, you can do that too. But yeah, so it'll have the VX feel, but it'll be an HD look. It'll be more crisp or whatever.
Yeah, totally. So you're filming a lot. Are you like how? What percentage would you say are you like shooting photos versus filming?
I go in waves. I think more now. Recently, I've been doing a lot more filming, mainly because I'm trying to like help promote the handle and stuff. And it's almost just like not. It's just it's fun. I've been more excited about that more recently doing the video stuff, but I still have the shoot stuff. But yeah, I have some other project ideas with video I'm trying to do as well.
I guess maybe kind of just start wrapping this up. If you have any like projects and stuff coming up, like I know like right now, like with COVID and everything like that, it's kind of hard to really project what's going to happen. But do you have any like plans coming up over the summer? Are you going to be things we should look out for, like towards the end of the year? Some new Tadashi photo stuff.
Yeah, like I said, we're looking into the maybe to make the Mark II lens filter. So for people out there, I was maybe thinking about trying to do like a more specified type of filter specifically for maybe like the Canon and for the Nikon zoom fisheye lenses. Like right now the filter works for those ones, that we have, but I wanted to make a even more customized one that would fit even better, so you can get even closer. So that's a couple ideas. And that's mainly it as far as product goes.
Dude, that's such a good fucking slogan you have, because it's like, so you can get in closer. It's like, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, dude.
Trying to show you this little setup here too. This is kind of fun too, just for messing around. It's pretty fun to just film it like vertical, so you like put it into a story in Instagram, whatever. So you set it up this way and you just, it's just a different look for footage, and kind of it's just fun to do so you can make it an actual story edit, or you can still crop it to 4:5 ratio. I don't know the rectangular vertical ratio.
Wouldn't it be like 9:16? I guess whatever that comes down to, like, because if I don't know, whatever that fucking.
Yeah, you can do 9:16. Yeah, 16, yeah, exactly. So it's fun stuff, mess around. There's just trying to push the limits and be more creative with stuff, and it's fun messing around with the different aspect ratios. So yeah, that's some things I've been working on. Trying to get weird and just do things different.
Totally, man. Totally, dude. Well, fuck, man. It's been pretty sweet talking to you, dude, and hearing like,
so much.
Just like I said, like I've always been pretty down with your stuff since I heard about it, and it's really nice to kind of hear how you came up with it, and yeah, now I'm hyped on it, and I hope like other people like get hyped and can just like you said, shoot more creative stuff and just in a new way without having to worry about fucking up your shit.
Yeah. I just want to push people to do something different, try different things, and yeah, thanks so much for interviewing me. It's cool to to show my stuff love and interest in my photography and stuff. Really feels appreciative, so it's nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, some people ask me to have you on the show, so glad to have you. And then man, like if in the future we can, any way, shape, or form, we can like link up. I'm down with it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm down. And for any viewers out there, of course, you can always try to hit me up. Any questions directly, you can always try to DM me or email or whatever. So yeah, if you have any questions about photo and video stuff, I'm happy to help. So yeah.
Alright. Thanks so much, Tadashi. Alright.
But now she hangs out with a bunch of fucking fat ass bikers. Well, I got laid and she got paid, and I guess that's just her calling trade, and that's the time I did a trade.